Ask Micky. Week 2, we've had more questions coming in from the fans on our social media and some through email. You ready to answer these 8 questions?
Good to go, Sam.
Question 8 questions, yep. Question 1, Tommy on Twitter asks, are you superstitious and do you have a pre-match routine before every game?
I wouldn't say I was particularly superstitious, but I do have a bit of a routine. I don't go and see the warm up. I like to be on my own for that little spell before the games. So routine or superstition, I don't know, but I don't think I particularly have any superstition. So the answer would probably be no. But I do have a routine that I feel I like to stick to.
And Tommy again on Twitter asks, what is the worst and best football ground you have been to?
As a manager, or just been to? Probably as a manager.
As either, I'd say.
I think you'd have to say, I think Wembley is magnificent, isn't it? I think Wembley would probably be the best. The worst... that's a tough one. I don't know. Can I come back to that one?
Yeah, well, maybe York.
No, York's okay. There's worse than that, I think, is the worst. I don't know.
Come back to that.
Yeah.
Sam Lockwood on Facebook asks, who was the footballer that you aspired to be when you were at the start of your professional career?
I think when I was growing up, probably the big stars at the time, because I used to like Celtic, would be like Paul McStay. I think he was magnificent as a young player, and I think most people of the Celtic persuasion would either be him or Charlie Nicholas, but I think Paul McStay.
Paul Littlehales on email asks, well, he says he's really enjoying the season so far, and especially the way the team are playing. He says he has just one concern. There seems to be a tendency for the players to rush and surround the referee when there's a bad foul or a decision against us. Have they been instructed to hassle the officials like this? I don't like it, and there's no need for it. We certainly hate to see it when the opposition do that sort of thing.
Well, Paul, I definitely agree with you. It isn't something that we speak about or try and do. I think it might just be instinctive, but it's certainly something that we don't want to do or condone. I think it might just be in the heat of the moment when we see one of our players getting hurt or whatever. Maybe it's just an instinct, but it's certainly something that I don't want us to represent as a football club. Trying to do that, I think it's instinctive. So I would hope it's instinctive. I wouldn't want to be. I think we're a better football club than that, and we want to stand for better than that. So it's something that maybe we'll try and stop, but instinctively it might be difficult.
Staying on the emails, Martin Berry says, I have really enjoyed watching your leadership and management of everyone at the club, including the influence of the supporters. For example, applauding the away fans before games, handing out drinks to the supporters, queuing for Chelsea tickets. And then he asks, who are the biggest influences on your leadership and management style?
I think you would have to say that everybody influences you, I think. But I really just try and be myself. I don't really try and copy or try and be anybody else. I try and practice what I preach, and I say to the players, let's just be good people. And I think it's right that we should applaud the fans, because they're who we're representing, who we're doing this for, and when they've paid money to come and watch us play, absolutely they deserve for us to thank them for their support, both in defeat and in victory. Because they've came to support us, and we represent them always. And the handing out a drink, I think that's just something that people should. I mean, it was just there was the tea there and there was some people cold, so we just give the tea out. It's as simple as that. I don't think we never tried to create anything other than just that. I believe that we're good people here at this football club, and our fans look cold, so we give them some tea, and I would do the same again. But we're enjoying playing for these, and I really mean that, these fantastic fans. They showed that again on Saturday. They were brilliant.
Yeah, Martin says keep up the good work. Facebook, Daniel Bishton asks, have you got a long-term plan for Shrewsbury, and if so, what is it? Or would you rather take it season by season?
I think we would like to think we could take the club as far as we possibly could, and why not aim for the Championship? The infrastructure's here in the ground and the support, we've just seen that. We'd like to take it to there, but in order to get there, I think we've got to take it in short steps. At the minute it's a very new group, because I think if you lose sight of the now, you don't take care of what's important, and that's the next game. So I'd love to be able to think that we could take it to the Championship. I think the club's got the infrastructure, the setup, the fan base, and the leadership from the chairman above to hope to try and aim to go and do that. So yeah, that long term, I'd love to take it to the Championship. Short term, let's do well in the first half against Bury.
Brilliant. Gary Stockdale on Facebook asks, do you think our fullbacks are suited to a 5-3-2 formation, as it requires specialist wing-backs, and when we play it, we seem to lack the width that wingers would give us?
I probably agree. I just feel that with the players that we have, it's the formation that probably suits us the best. I think if we had, we've got developing wide players at the minute, like Caton, who's only 20. We've got young, what's his name?
Ginelli?
Yeah, it's been a long day. Young Ginelli, who's a developing wide player. So who knows? We may change if they develop quicker than what we expect. But at the minute, I just think that it suits us. But if we have to change, we would change. But I agree. You need specialist players. But at the minute, I think the two lads, or a couple of lads who have played there, have done particularly well for us. So I've also got Ashley Vincent as well, who can play wide. But I think we'll try and keep playing a formation that allows us to dominate possession and also keep winning his games. But I think if we stop winning games, I think we would have to look at doing something else. But I think we're always looking. We would never. I don't think we've settled on anything. I just think that best suits us at the minute. I like playing with two strikers as well.
Final question. Harley Castlin on Facebook asks, can we keep Bobby Grant for longer than a month? He looked a real threat at York. I'd
like to. He's a really talented lad. He gives us a different type of player to what we already have. He's a left foot like a wand, and we're really pleased to have Bobby here. Even at this stage, I'd probably love to sit down and hopefully bring him for longer, because I think he brings some real quality to an already really strong group.
Micky, that's all the questions for this week. Looking forward to more of the same next week?
Yeah, I've only just seen them, so like you say, I just want to answer them honestly, and I think the question about the 5-3-2 is fantastic, because that's obviously what people are thinking, and if I can answer that as honestly as I can. We do maybe sometimes. I love wingers, but I just think at the minute it maybe suits us a little bit more than any other shape. But like I say, we have some fantastic. Young Janelle's a fantastic talent. Caton, fantastic talent. Keep bringing him on. Ashley Vincent, keep bringing them all forward. and who knows, we might conjure up another formation very soon, but as long as it keeps us winning, who cares?
Brilliant. We'll see you same time next week.
Thank you, Sam.